Hey everyone, Star9 here. So I want to greet everyone a belated Happy Valentine's Day. For today's video, we're gonna be drawing Sunghoon and Sunoo from ENHYPEN, one of our favorite and cutest duo in the group. So let's get started. I hope everyone had a very lovely Valentine's Day. Feel free to comment down below what you did to spend the day. Well, for me, I was just drawing and drawing and drawing over and over again since I don't have a special Valentine. So here, I decided to draw SUNSUN, Sunghoon, and Sunoo. They're one of my favorite duos in the group. So here, as always, I first did the overall sketch of both of our characters. I was very excited to do this piece since their pose wasn't that easy. I was really excited to challenge myself to try some new poses. So while I was looking for a pose, I saw this really cute reference of Sunoo and Sunghoon. Sunoo was riding Sunghoon's back, and I thought it was really cute. That's why I used it. Mostly for this part, I really struggled doing Sunghoon. Because for Sunoo, I drew him so many times already that I already know most of his face features. Like, it's really easy to capture his facial expressions. Unlike Sunghoon, like for me, he has a lot of difficult features. So here, after we drew the overall pose, we're now adding the hair and the clothing of our character. I was really having fun drawing both of them since they're both my favorite members in ENHYPEN. I have explained this before in my previous video, but I'm gonna say it again. Sonu was the reason why I first fell in love with ENHYPEN, and slowly I started learning each member. And aside from Sonu, Sunghoon also caught my eye. Like, his visuals are so pretty. I remember referring him before to a beautiful AI since he looks like a beautiful doll or robot. And I heard everyone keeps saying that his visuals when it comes to concerts are way better compared to pictures. That's why when I went to the concert, I was really looking forward to seeing it. If you would like to hear more about my experience in the Manifesto tour, like in their concert, feel free to check out this video. Here, I talked about the things that happened in the concert and the preparations that I did. After sketching Sunghoon and Sunoo, we're now using the lasso tool to put their colors. I first started with Sunghoon since for this whole piece, his body is more shown compared to Sunoo. I first started putting the soft shadows before the harsh ones. Here, I'm trying to figure out where the lighting will be coming from, and I'm also making sure that the face will look like they have forms. So here, I'm adding a more darker and saturated shadow using the flat brush. For Sungha's lips, I struggled a little bit since the mouth is open. I'm not always used to drawing lips in a particular angle. So you can see me here zooming in and out for my canvas. Here, we're also starting to work on with the eyes. I also struggled a little bit on this part since the angle of the face has a big effect. Like, putting the different face features in this particular angle gives me a little bit of a hard time. So here, after we added the eyes and the eyebrows, I'm just trying to refine the nose since I feel like it's weirdly off. Then we're starting to work on with Songhoon's hair. With the reference that I use, he looks really young in this hairstyle, and not just him but also Sonu. That's why I felt like it was so really cute while working on with this piece. Since the color of the hair is dark already, I just added a couple of shadows and I started working on with the lighting. Here, I used the flat brush and then I followed the strokes of the hair. Then I used the blending tool to make it look more natural. Lately, I've been having a little bit of a hard time trying to figure out the content that I want to produce. I feel like some of the content that I'm uploading is not up to the quality yet, and the idea is very boring or dull. It's hard to think of a content that'll make everyone love it at the same time you're gonna have fun doing it. Prioritizing what everyone loves is important, but so does what you love doing. And I've been really struggling to juggle with that idea. I always try and give my best in everything that I'm doing, but I feel like it's always not enough. And mentally, I feel like it's taking a toll on me to the point that it affects my drawings. It's just been really hard lately, but I'm sure little steps goes a long way, and I just need to keep working hard. After I put the base color of the clothes, I'm now adding the shadows. I first started with the bigger shapes of the shadows before I go to the fine details. As you can see here, when I did the horizontal design in the shirt. It's not a perfect straight line. This is because there's a lot of folds in the cloth and it will affect the design. It adds more detail to the folds of the clothing. Then here, I'm adding a more darker shadow. After Sunghoon, we're now starting to work on with Sunoo. I really love his face here since he was smiling so preciously, like he's a bubbly little kid. So since Sunoo was smiling here, I had to keep in mind of the muscles on his face, especially around his mouth, since there's a lot of muscle moving if we're smiling. So I immediately started with his lips and the mouth. Studying expressions is something I've always wanted to do, like the expressions of the characters and bringing it to life is something that really can make or break your piece. Doing Sono's eyes was very easy since there's no eyes, like his eyes are shut because of smiling. That's why this part was very smooth and easy for me. After doing Sono's facial expressions, we're now working on with his hair. As you can see here, like what I did with Sunghoon, I first started with the overall shape for Sono's hair, and that's when I added the small strands of details. I used the lasso tool a lot since it makes my life more easier. I also did a simple lighting for Sono's hair since just like what I did with Sunghoon. For me, the result of this piece was really beautiful. It's so wholesome and it became one of my favorite pieces. Like Sunghoon and Sunoo combined, there's a special place in my heart. After putting the base color for Sunoo's clothing, we're now adding the shadows. Since mostly Sunghoon is covering the whole outfit for Sunoo, this made it easier for me to draw it. I made sure for this part that the hoodie is interacting with Sunghoon's body. Like, as you can see, one part of Sunoo's hoodie is placing on Sunghoon's shoulder. That's why the arms of the hoodie is shaped like that. And I also have to keep in mind of the crumples and folds of the clothing. After working on with both of our characters, we're now starting to do the background. So in order to do the grass, I use different types of brushes. And as you can see here, while I'm doing the details of the grass, I'm adding a lighting and the shadow. And I added a big block of dark green in the background since this will represent the forest behind them. I wanted to put them in a scene where they're both having fun running around in the field of grass. And it's a very beautiful day. I don't usually do foliage because I feel like doing the details of the grass and the forest and the trees is a little bit difficult. But it was really interesting for me to come up with different techniques on my own. Overall, I learned a lot from this piece, and this became one of my favorite pieces because aside from all the new things that I've learned and did in this drawing, when I first imagined this drawing in my mind, I wasn't expecting anything. But after I finished this piece, I realized I did a very wholesome piece for Sunghoon and Sunoo. Like, it really touched my heart, and I never usually say this to all of my drawings. This piece was just so different, and it has a very special place in my heart. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Thank you so much for watching until the end of the video. I really appreciate your presence and the support that you give. I hope you were able to relax and learn something new in this video. For more content like this, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. And feel free to comment down below what you think of our piece for today. And subscribe if you haven't already. Once again, I really appreciate you watching to the end of the video. And see you in the next one. Bye!